Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we do not want war. We've seen it all before. I'm Danny. Everyone does that.
I'm Dan. I'm over here now. Hi, I'm with Caesar.
Yeah, he's just chilling with Caesar right now.
I'm chilling with Caesar.
Yeah.
And in my spot today, we've got John. He's back.
I'm back.
It's John.
He's
No
back.
social media, just John.
Just John.
Just John.
I have a bunch of social media, I just don't use it.
Yeah, no, I don't use any of it.
But yes, today we're doing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and yeah, it was a wild. Well, it wasn't a wild ride, I'd say, but it's coming after a War for the Planet of the Apes back in 2017 with Matt Reeves, the guy who did the Batman, all that jazz. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep talking here with. This is so weird. This is so weird. I'm gonna go back to Danny.
Well, do we want to do a recap of the first three?
We'll do that in a little bit.
I'm down.
We can do that in
Not
just
a
a
full
minute.
recap, obviously.
But
like-
we can
so there
also
was-
talk about all the Koba memes. Koba. All right. So, Danny, do you want to?
Let's get to it.
What?
Apes together. It didn't cut to me.
I was cutting to John.
Got
I thought John was gonna do it too.
He's just sitting there. He's like, you fucking weird ass.
Got him.
Anyway, yeah. So, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. But before we get all to that, let's not get to it because Danny stole my line again. But John, do you want to give us a little recap on the first three?
Sure. So the first one, what year did that take place?
2011?
Yeah, around that. So James Franco is a scientist working on finding a cures for Alzheimer's, and he creates this, like, what is it called? Formula B whatever.
B12.
B12.
That vitamin B12. This is so important.
BCAAs, brother. He put in some fucking pre-workout. Basically, he made these apes super smart, which is where Caesar comes from, and progressively, what would you say? It basically is the start of the first. In the first one, Caesar becomes smart, and then he transfers the same formula to all the other apes.
Yeah, he like has like a gas thing where he gets in that he puts it down like the aisle with all the fucking apes in the pen or whatever.
Yeah, so that they all get
Apes
smart.
together, strong.
So then Dawn is the actual start of their revolution. And in Dawn, you have Caesar, Koba, Rocky. You have all the same apes. They're secluded from the human. Jesus Christ.
Are you looking at me? You're like, yo, motherfucker, you did this to me.
You did this. So in Dawn, basically Caesar and all the apes branch off into their own little world, into the woods, where they are then met by humans, which is led by Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because James Franco's gone. He died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're on Rise.
I liked
right?
him.
Or Dawn.
No, this
Dawn.
is Dawn.
You're
So
right.
it goes Rise, Dawn, War. So Rise was literally the start where Caesar gets the formula, makes all the apes smart. Dawn is when they create their own civilization. And spoiler, it gets ruined by Koba for,
An asshole.
well, he did have a lot of experiments done
Yeah,
on
he was
him.
mistreated.
He hates humans. So he framed the humans for doing an assassination attempt on Caesar, which starts war. And in war, it's basically Caesar versus the Colonel. Colonel? Is it the Colonel? Woody Harrelson's character. It's
Yeah.
Colonel, right? It's some military.
I just
right?
watched it the other day. So that's my least favorite one.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was for
it's
me.
real
It goes Dawn, War, Rise, and then obviously we're going to talk about this one today. But
Oh, no, I'm kind of the exact opposite.
really,
Yeah. Or no, Rise, Dawn, War.
Oh, so you go in order?
Yeah, I guess so. It just got worse for me.
Really?
But now Kingdom is kind of debatable. It's definitely better than War for me. But
For me, it goes War, Rise, Dawn, because I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
See, I
Dawn's the
think
best
Dawn
one.
is the best one. That
Yeah.
whole like Shakespearean tragedy or not tragedy, Shakespearean like what's the word? Not tragedy.
what, the conflict between like brothers and stuff?
Yeah,
that
the
kind of thing?
conflict between Koba
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Caesar, and how like he creates this whole vast plan, and it just starts this whole war. I think that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's like, which I'll get into this later, but these movies are just kind of basically The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see it.
like if I'm thinking about it, because I'm rewatching the show right now, so it's very similar. But like, clearly, Dawn is all about like the whole like season 1 and 2 arc with Rick and Shane.
Shane, yeah.
They just fucking hate each other, and they're like, we're
can
best
see it.
friends, but
I can
like,
see it.
And then War is definitely more closer to like the Negan stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because like they get beat the shit out of them. Like I'm just getting to that one episode where 2 people die.
Okay, the show's been on. The show's been
Okay,
on
fine.
Ever.
The one where
first off, that show sucks now. So we.
well, it's over.
Oh, is it officially?
Yeah, it ended like last year.
God,
Yeah,
I gave up
the
on that
regular
show
show,
so
yeah,
long
right?
ago.
Yeah.
Gave up on that show like I think around Negan is when I gave up.
Yeah, I came back right when Rick left, and then I stayed on until the end of season 9, and I started season 10. But then
10. Holy shit.
this fucking character called Princess shows up. I hated her in the comics. I'm
Okay.
like, I'm not dealing with this bitch. So I just I turned it off. I stopped it until so I missed the entire last 2 seasons, the last arcs.
Uh-huh.
And then it ended on a real anticlimactic note. But the ones who live, decent.
See, I don't know. When it got to the point where you could literally do the math of okay, here's 1 good episode, here's 3 boring episodes about people I don't care about.
Yeah.
All right, here's the 1 good episode. Once it got to
That's
that
The Walking
formula, I was like, all right, next channel.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, it was real
All
bad.
right, so we're on to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, not The Walking Dead here. So, this movie is set 300 years in the future, right? Yeah, about 300 years, I think it says.
That's
Yeah,
what
like
Yeah.
that's what
Yes.
Mike said.
Yeah,
No, it is. I'm on
starts
IMDb
with
right now.
opening text saying several
Many generations.
many
later.
generations. So it has nothing to do with Caesar or Caesar's offsprings, which I thought was a good branch off. So they're fully in their own.
Full requel status, which I had to explain to John what a requel was earlier.
I haven't seen Scream.
No, I've seen Scream, but
Oh, they explain it right there.
yeah, but still, I don't like calling it a requel.
I like legacy-quel as a better word.
I think that's a better because you're working off all the hard work that the original trilogy did. Which
That's a good point.
Can we establish real quick? Probably one of the best trilogies out there.
Honestly, yeah.
Of Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, these. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, these one. Yeah. It's
100%.
completely underrated.
Yeah. Right.
Like, nobody talks about this. Like, War is debatable for me, but, honestly, Rise and Dawn are, 2 great movies. And then, but me and Matt Reeves don't really vibe, you know? There's
You guys don't get along like that.
yeah, I don't know him
guys
like
aren't
that.
boys?
You know?
He left you. He left you on Reddit the DM.
He did.
Wow.
You
what
know?
a dick.
Yeah.
I mean,
fuck
I think-
Cloverfield.
Yo, fuck that shit. I mean, I think all 3 are good, and I think it's very rare to see a trilogy that all 3 are able to stand on their own credit, but then also have a crazy good, concluding arc for all the characters.
Yeah.
But so that's for me. That's the issue is the fact that these 3 were so good, and then this one comes out, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, they want to do another 2.
Yeah, they
wanna do another
basically want to.
trilogy.
Yeah, they want to do a whole passing of the torch. I
Yeah.
get that, but
9 film saga.
9.
Oh, they're doing, okay.
That's
9?
what that's what they want to do.
That sounds stupid. You can't plan for 9 movies out. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, I mean,
3 maybe. 9's a little much.
Hashtag Star Wars.
My
yeah, it took 45 years.
exactly. My point exactly. You proved my point. And even then, I don't think he planned for 9. I think he did 3.
yeah,
And
and
then
he was
another 3,
bullshitting the
another
whole
3.
time.
Yeah, 100. So
After
yeah.
episode 3 came out, he's just like, no, there's no plans for the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
in 2010, he's like, well, I have some ideas.
you know. As
There's
he's
always been
then
ideas.
counting
Disney
$100
gets it.
bills. He's like, well, I had some other ideas we could do. So let's start from the beginning. So it starts off because we're just kind of going around. So it starts off saying, several generations, has nothing to do with Caesar, has nothing to do with offspring, and it starts with the main character Noah. And are they his siblings or are they
I think they're just friends.
I think they're friends.
Hermione
So
kind of thing.
two other apes. They're climbing to complete a ritual for birds. What did you think of the birds?
Like the hawks or whatever?
The
I
eagles.
thought they were sick. Not
Did
gonna lie.
you? I
liked
thought it was
Like
a
the
little-
idea that they were bonding with an animal.
Yeah. That was their whole clan.
I
that
thought it was
the
weird.
thing.
That's the specific thing that they do.
Right.
Yeah, we breed birds.
Yeah, I was like, that's so far.
But,
which is weird because again, it's you want to talk about okay, so in the original trilogy, they slowly evolved from just learning how to talk to using primitive tools like spears and stuff. To the third one, they're using full military tactics with weapons and stuff. And now, several hundred years later, you figure they'd be more advanced. Nope, they're just people with birds now.
That's
I was
my
like,
thing.
What happened?
Okay, that's the thing. So, I can understand the context of the movie why they chose to make them just barely, just barely a little bit more civilized.
Right.
But it's 300 years later. You would think why wouldn't they have built lots of walls and
That's what I'm
had
saying.
actual the kingdom is just a small city in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Even the kingdom is not even a city. It's literally just
It's just
a plot of land.
the camps around a little tiny thing that's
Yeah.
blocking. But they're idiots though for sitting right next to the ocean.
Well,
they're fucking.
They are
idiots.
apes. They are apes.
It's 300 years. Well, actually, no, because their IQs are supposed to be like 58 points higher than like the average human at the time in 2011. So
Well,
like, you know,
apes.
whatever.
Apes together strong. Ape together's not smart.
They can't even speak English.
Just all chopped up words. Which again, another thing. At the end of the third one, they're talking full sentences.
Yeah.
This one starts. They're
I know
back
it's
to
like-
like choppy words. It's like what happened. I want to know what happened that
Because
essentially made
Caesar
them
dead.
You think that's why though?
Maybe like if that's the point, they didn't like go into it too much. Like if that's like, well, Caesar dying kind of stunted the growth of everything. They didn't really get into like that point being the thing.
Possibly.
So like, you know,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. I just can't. So starting off, that's the thing. I was like a little like, okay, they're still in like huts and shit. Like, that's a little weird to me. And also like the bird. So like it's the bird thing. If that's like a tribal thing, like
Also, just
are
to
there other tribes who are
clarify-
like we like snakes and
Yeah. That'd be kind of interesting.
like ride fucking snake like
Well,
anacondas?
just to clarify, the bird thing is essentially a ritual where these apes climb a really huge tree and take an eagle egg so they can like bond with it.
Yeah,
And like that's their whole thing.
Yeah.
So again, that's what we're saying when we're saying the bird thing. But they're like, you got someone like, what are they talking about? But so again, I don't see the appeal of going further back in advancement. Or at least it seems to be with this tribe.
Well, I mean, back to the Walking Dead thing though. You'll see in the show that they start with guns.
Right.
And then they kind of devolve into spears and knives and stuff because they run out of ammo,
ammo,
and like they don't want to draw noise and stuff. Maybe and plus apes are more like attuned to using
I'm sorry,
spears.
did
I
you
guess.
see Koba dual wielding two ARs on a horse in the second movie?
Okay, it looked pretty fucking
That
cool.
was awesome.
I didn't see that.
You didn't. That's probably.
Oh, you
why I
haven't
seen
seen
Seen the second one.
And then
it's
even in
so
the
good.
third one, you have gorillas being manned by tanks.
Yeah, that's
like
just
they're in
Yeah.
charge of tanks.
dope.
Like you have crazy scenes like that, and now it's like spears. Like, you're going backwards. I feel like.
well, they got the
personally.
shock stick things, but they were made by William H Macy.
Yes, and
It's a
even
human.
then, like
That was such a weird cameo.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I was trying to describe who the guy who played Raka. My go-to for saying that, oh, it's the dad from Shameless, but I meant like Carl's girlfriend's dad.
yes, not,
But also the
who's
dad from
also-
Shameless is in
who's
this.
also in it, yes.
So it's like, what do I
You're not helping
fucking say to? But fine, he's probably my favorite character, Raka.
Oh, yeah, he
with
was
the
great.
orangutan, he's so good because he's like the last true believer in Caesar's word.
Yep. Which I
The last.
think that was a very good way to branch off was because it's so far into the future that Caesar is now seen as like a god essentially.
Yeah,
And like now you have people misinterpreting what he means.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have like apes together strong, which is like justification for like slavery. That's what he was. That's what's the bad guy's name?
Proximus.
Yeah. So Proximus is like taking Caesar's words and interpreting it to be like, oh, as long as they're all together working underneath me, then that's fine. That's what Caesar wanted. So I think it's interesting that it is that Caesar is now gone full circle to be like
Well, he's just Jesus now. or
yeah,
like,
essentially.
yeah.
He's essentially Jesus. Then you have Rocco, who's sort of like a priest,
Yeah.
trying to ensure the real word of Caesar.
Everybody chill.
Everyone chill. Everyone chill.
Daddy, chill.
All right.
What the hell is even
I'm,
that? You ever
I'm
seen that
gonna move us forward a little bit. So this girl May is involved as well. She's kind of like one of the last humans, but like they don't know she can speak at first, but she can speak.
Well, can we talk?
I'm gonna get hold on. And we're going to they burned down the Noah's village. That was the first big thing I think that really happened, I believe, after setting up everything.
Yeah.
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 So,
So basically, what happens is that Noah, who's the main character, and his friends. Who are his friends? They all have like
I know Anaya is the
You have Noah, Anaya, Novia, Nokia. They all have the same
Just
name.
carries
They
around
all have the same name. But
indestructible.
pretty much. But so they come back from their journey, and this human, who we find out is May later, pretty much stole a blanket and her scent got put on the blankets. So this evil group, who we find out about later, was like, "Oh, we're looking for this person." So they go back to Noah's tribe and burn the whole thing down, which I thought was a pretty cool fight scene.
Yeah.
Just overall, that was probably one of the first like actually good like action in the movie.
I will say the action in this movie does still hold up. All of it is pretty well done for the most part. Not necessarily like innovative in any way, but it still hits when it does hit.
I can't get over that picture. It's just so funny.
Yeah, let's see it one more time. Put it up.
We're gonna put me up again.
Put it up again.
Together, ape strong.
It's just so funny.
It looks like he's holding your head.
He's
just like doing one of these moves.
They're
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm just ahead now.
Yep. Well, can we talk about the whole? Because I think this is probably the biggest issue I had with this movie is the whole human like subplot.
Oh, okay.
So basically, at the end of the original trilogies, humans are infected with a virus that is making them de-evolve. They can't talk. They're being stupid. And at the start of this movie, they're essentially just animals. Like they're being seen as they're at a watering hole with zebras to do a comparison of like gazelles, like prey. But then out of nowhere, they can fully talk and they have military camps.
So I think that's like the smart humans. Like, I mean, that would have to be the thing where there's been generations of humans who've wisened up. Like, oh, there's this disease outside. We can't go outside now. Kind of like, like at the end you saw them kind of like disinfecting, like a hazmat suit or whatever. The thing is though, the girl May, she had to have been from them, and she's basically like, yeah, I guess I'll sacrifice myself, like, because now she can't go back.
I guess.
Yeah, because she'll spread the disease probably.
But I feel like you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, hey, humans are completely de-evolved, but then also they're fully evolved. I feel like they're trying to do two separate stories. They're trying to do a story about apes versus apes, which I thought was good. Yeah. And then they're also trying to circle back and bring back apes versus human, which is what the original trilogy was about. So I don't think it makes sense to go down that route again.
Well, I think it's just like, like Noah, he's just kind of like a guy, a regular dude. And then Rocka's like teaching him like, just be chill. Everyone just chill. And then
the way of Caesar.
It's, I don't know. See, the problem that I think we're going to be running into is that like pretty soon it's going to be like The Walking Dead, where it's going to be like, oh, the next thing, like there's this conflict with humans and that we can't ever really say anything definitive because we got to have the next one. And, because that's what war was about. It's like,
it was literally human versus ape, which the apes won.
Yes.
So now to be like, oh, hey, we were just kidding. We're doubling back. I feel like that's cheap. I feel like that's kind of lame. I feel like if you doubled down, it was like, no, now we're having ape on ape.
Yeah, at that point. But then at that, it would just turn into just like a regular movie.
So you're telling me that
there's a dictator. We need to like just,
or maybe don't make the movie. If you can't come up with a good plan,
well, the thing
don't do the cash grab.
The thing is, I like May as a character though, because she's smart, but like she's also got her guard up. Like, so she's like working with the apes, and like at the end, there's the one scene with Noah where she's like, where he's like, oh, can humans and apes ever be friends and live together? And like that's the question of the fucking Walking Dead. Like, can these two groups live together?
Yeah.
Right.
But then she's like, yeah, I think so, but she's still got the gun behind her back.
I thought that was nice. I thought that was subtle.
So like, I want to see more of her, and I hope that they don't do the thing that they've been doing in the other movies, where like the main human character is just only around for one, and they just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So I want her to come back at least. But then at the same time though, I can see where it's going to lead. It's going to lead to, we think we can. And then there's going to be one asshole ape who's going to ruin it for everybody.
Right,
like COVID.
and then there's going to be another Woody Harrelson character that's going to ruin it on the human side. So you can see how it's like
they got to come up with
the trend. You gotta come up with something different, in my opinion. Because like I said,
yeah,
we already did the human versus ape shit. That was the Matt Reeves trilogy. We already saw it. Do something different. Don't bring humans back into it.
Yeah,
or don't bring them back fully evolved. That was my issue. You literally had them as dumb as animals. Bottom of the food chain, but then you're also like, no, they're also just as smart. So they're pretty much trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
If they want to go down the ape trail.
As Rocka said, she's one of the smart ones. So like apparently there are more like her. Like we saw at the very end. Like they're trying to like get the satellites back working. I don't know what the fuck that was about. That was weird.
Well, it's the humans connecting together again to fight against the apes.
Yeah.
which again we already saw in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, unless there's like a benevolent like human leader that comes in and says, "Hey, we can all live together," and like seriously, like for real this time.
For realsies.
But then like there's no movie though because there's no conflict, and then
That's how movies work.
yeah, there's no drama. So they got to get more creative, but I don't think they're gonna be able to pull it. Like, I like this movie for what it was, and you know, like it has some good ideas. But like I think we just need to see, we just need to see something different, but not like crazy time travel shit like they were doing in the other ones.
No, you gotta take all the other ones. You can't take Tim Burton's. You can't take all those. Take all those.
I haven't seen the Tim Burton one.
You're not missing anything. It's not good. So
I
it's
have
like
a soft spot for
all
it.
the time travel stuff. You got to take out of the equation. But
The only other thing they could do is just the Charlton Heston, like, you know, a spaceman comes in and observes this world for what it is.
Aliens versus apes.
Maybe. Who knows, you know?
Sick, not gonna lie.
They find a simian planet like that's like authentically like they are that way. That's how they were the whole time.
maybe
From
Yo, we
Mars.
take over this fucking planet, bro.
this is our planet now.
ape in space.
They already made that movie.
They did. It was Mark Wahlberg's movie.
Yes, it was.
God.
It was. Well, my thing is, so again, you want to talk about 9 movies. Like, the original trilogy, there was a plan for every single one. They rose up. They created their own civilization. So at the end of Rise, they had their civilization. In Dawn, they had their civilization. Now a war starts because of Koba. Third one, war starts. War ends with the death of Caesar. It was very planned out. This one,
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going.
Even though
It's a new trilogy. I mean, you just gotta give it time.
But even with the original trilogy, or not original, but the newest, the good one, even out of the newest trilogy, after Rise, you kind of had an idea for what was going to go next. And then the second one, you kind of knew what was going on with the third one. This one, it's just like they're leaving it open because they don't know what they're doing. Or at least that's how I felt at the ending. I was like,
I don't think Wes Ball is
okay.
gonna come back to direct the next one, but
I would
we'll
hope
see.
not. What?
I liked his directing. I thought it was
I thought it was
fine.
better than any of the Maze Runner movies.
Well, low bar. That's a very low bar.
Yeah,
Right here.
yeah.
Come on.
The thing is, like, there's like 3 different types of conflict, or 4 or 5. I don't know. There's human versus or person versus person,
Yep.
person versus self, person versus environment.
Yep.
Probably Rise is person versus environment. Then, well, they all kind of have an aspect of all 3. But person versus person is Dawn, and then person
Well,
versus
and
self,
War.
because it's more of a war is actually more of like a character piece about Caesar, and he's
I
like, I'm
agree with
turning into Koba. I
That
don't want
is
to turn
true.
into
you
that.
Could, you could articulate.
got
Yeah, especially because
aspects.
he had flashbacks and stuff. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
aspects of all of it, which again makes them good. Let's play it with this one. What was it for this one? Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of like Raka's like, we're losing touch with our roots. We need to go back to that. And then Noah's like, okay. And then
First off, and again, I'm not blaming the actor here. Noah's character, or Noah, the main character,
he's not Caesar.
he's not Caesar, nor is the actor Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
It's a very big shoes to fill, and I felt that watching it. I was like, this guy's a fucking, this guy's plain. This guy's boring. I was watching
He's a little
it.
meek.
It was. I was watching it. I'm like, this is the most plain Jane fucking vanilla performance.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was like
Well,
watching this. I didn't feel that connection. I did not feel it.
He's trying to be Cornelius. Or like he's based out from the originals, where he's like, I'm just an ape that's kind of part of this, but I'm not exactly cool with mistreating all humans.
Can you really do that after you had that huge connection with Caesar?
It's hard. I don't know.
But again, it keeps circling back.
They got to okay. So maybe their problem is they got to find like a new protagonist that's like Raka. He was great.
He was really good.
I thought Raka was
Yeah.
great. Should have killed him off. Well,
But,
we wanna
like-
go, since we're talking about characters. So, okay, Noah, not good. Raka, amazing. Raka, who was played by, who was the actor that played
I
him?
want to say his name's
Rocco
Peter
was-
Macon.
Peter Macon?
I think that's his name, Peter. I'm
Fact
not
check.
entirely
Fact
sure.
check.
I know Macon is his last
Rocco,
name.
yeah, Peter Macon.
Okay, Raka, great. I wish they kept him around longer.
Yeah. I have a new appreciation for Kevin Durant now.
Kevin Durant, oh my God.
Yeah.
Best part of the whole movie when he played the villain.
Yeah.
What was his name? Not Prometheus.
Proximus.
Proximus Caesar.
Proximus.
Yeah.
Proximus Caesar. Fucking long ass name. Might want to shorten it.
He's dead now. It doesn't matter.
Proximus.
Good point. But that villain, great. I wish they did more with him too. All the interesting parts kind of came at the end and didn't really like have a hard enough effect to be like, hey, this is really good.
I thought May
Yeah.
was all right. I didn't think she was great, but like I
May
think
the
they could
actress or
work
May,
off
like her character and her character arc.
Yeah, they could work off of her character. Like they should kind of base most of it, I think, off of her if they do sequels, because I think her arc was the most interesting for sure.
I think the only kind of new route that's interesting is maybe make her into a Woody Harrelson type.
Oh, like make her into a dictator? Like she ends
Yeah.
up becoming one by the end of the trilogy?
Like her and Noah kind of, they start off as friends working together, and then they're like, well, I'm here to support my humans. I'm
Right.
here to support my apes. And then so Noah's this new Caesar 2.0, and then
Right.
May is like, she turns into, and then we'll see I don't know. That's looking where like the only original way they could go at
I
it.
do like that idea.
I think it would be good.
Yeah, because now instead of like Woody Harrelson just showing up and being like, I got big dick energy, fuck you guys. You get
How
to
he is
see
in all
like,
his movies. Every movie he's in.
what about Cheers? Well, that's a TV show.
100%. That was the beginning. That was the starting of his big dick energy. He walked in the bar. He was like, "Hey, Norm, fuck you, dog. I'm in charge."
It's like, hey, I'm from what was he from? Montana or some shit. He's
Something like that.
It was like, I won the Piggly Wiggly fucking grocery bagging championship. Hot dog.
Did he say hot dog?
Probably.
If that's not big dick energy, I don't know what is.
He's like, I'm gonna replace Coach. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. So, well, I'm trying to think. So, all the characters, again, all the great ones, I feel like did not have enough screen time, in my opinion.
I think Anaya has a little bit of an arc there, where he's like,
Which one's that?
the best friend, the guy,
The male one or the female?
The
the
male
male
one.
one.
See what I'm talking about? All three of them sound the same. You have no. You have.
I don't know the girl's name.
I think it's Dar.
No, it wasn't
Dar?
No, you had Noah, and then at one point they refer to May as Nova,
Right, because
as
that's
a reference to the third one.
yeah. Okay, so that's a reference to like a Chevy Nova.
Yes.
Okay, because I thought I saw like an emblem
during
there.
yeah, because during war there was that child who was completely devolved. So the original orangutan, Marquise, like
Maurice, I think?
yeah, Maurice, yes. He handed her like a car piece or whatever. It was like you're Nova.
I got
So
you.
that's when Rocco was like, "Oh, Caesar referred to everyone as Nova."
Okay, cause I knew it had something to do with that. I thought it was more like James Franco's car. Like he had a car, it was a Chevy Nova.
Did he?
Well, I know there's a nice car in that movie. It might be the neighbors though.
It might be. Oh no, it is. Yeah,
Dude, that neighbor, poor guy.
yeah, that guy.
He gets
Dude's trying
attacked
to
by
live
his.
dude's trying to live his life. His neighbor has a chip which attacked his kids, and then his neighbor
bites his
also
fingers off.
Bites his fingers off. His neighbor also has Alzheimer's. Breaks into his car, and then randomly some random dude shows up,
It just sneezes on him.
sneezes blood all over him, and that's how
He kills him.
And that's how the infection starts. Like this guy's just trying to live his life. I'd be mad too if I had
It's
this guy as
low-key
my
a
neighbor.
comedy. Like
Yeah,
Oh, I think her name is Suna.
Suna? Who's
Yeah,
Suna?
the
No
other
way,
ape.
no way.
Because
It's
I'm looking.
Noah,
I'm looking
Suna,
at.
and
Hold on,
fucking-
hold on. Yeah, because it says
Suna, Anaya, Noah.
his friends Anaya and Suna.
Yeah.
That is horrible writing. That is horrible writing. You could not. You need to come up with different names.
Suna, what's wrong with that?
Noah, Suna. What was the other one's name again? Anova.
Anaya.
Anaya. Nokia. I already made
You
that
obviously
joke.
did not jive with any of them, so
No, because they were all kind of like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love the original trilogy so
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Is that
you
it
don't wanna
was
see it.
such huge shoes to fill,
Yeah.
and these actors come in. I'm like, I don't
it's a
care.
very good point.
I'm like, yeah. I generally did not feel a connection, or did I really care about any of them?
The one I did come to like Noah by the end of the movie, but like in the beginning, yeah, I was same on your page. I'm like, I don't care.
The thing is, so he clearly has an arc where he's just like kind of like this kind of fuck up
got main
in
character
his
syndrome.
village. Yeah, he's gonna make
Right,
character.
and now he's the leader of the Eagles.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, no offense to this guy, Andy Serkis is just a better actor, and the writing was just a little better for Rise. I think he could come into his own, like, because he kind of had that big dick energy towards the end where he calls the bird and stuff and starts attacking Proximus and stuff. So like I think he could be like, he could come into his own being the leader of the new apes and stuff, and he could actually create the real kingdom that Proximus was trying to
Yes.
do. The only thing I'm a little confused on is like, I seemed really confused about the dynamics between the apes from the village and the apes in the kingdom, and like what the whole plan was there. Like it's
Yeah, it was kind of like all kind of mashed together. I don't think there was like any real purpose.
there was okay. So if they're like slaves,
Yeah.
they're not being watched.
I guess they're more like servants. I guess.
But like they're like it was so easy for them to just blow the fucking wall up.
Yeah, I agree.
Like there's like, oh, let's get the gunpowder. It's just laying around.
I agree.
What do we think of the bunker? Like the whole missile silo? What do we think of that whole part of the movie?
I feel like they could have done more with it. Again, if we want to go down the, I'm not a fan of trying to rehash the human versus ape. I think it would have been good to maybe not Kevin Durant's character, maybe a new guy, whatever. I feel like if we gave all that advanced science stuff to one of the apes, and then maybe he mistreats it, and now it's Noah versus this new guy with all this technology, I thought that would have been good. Plus, there were guns in the safe, which can bring back, Cobra style fucking Akimbo on a horse, which made that movie fucking.
There are other missile silos. Just saying.
But again, they introduced this missile silo just to be like, it's getting flooded.
Yeah.
All those tanks. Nah. All those guns? Nah. You don't get to play with any of those toys.
Yeah, like I think what would have been cool is that again going back to The Walking Dead, have a saviors type thing.
Well, I get it.
Where,
It's
like,
a good comparison.
It just seems real obvious to me. But have Proximus actually have a real life kingdom. He's actually like a real life dictator, and he's got all this technology that he doesn't want to share with the other apes. So when he takes over Noah's village, you have more of a bigger bad, like, oh, this guy needs to get killed. Because right now, Proximus is just kind of like, yeah, like, sure, I'm kind of an asshole with all my apes and I just want to make them my slaves, but I'm still like looking out for the history, the rate, like my race. Like I'm still trying to grow.
Because he does give a huge speech about evolution, how humans are de-evolving and they're evolving. And he's like, whatever's in that silo, we're going to get even more advanced. We're going to get even further for the ape kind.
Yeah.
And Noah's like, no, I don't want to do that.
No, I want to stay stupid.
I want to stay stupid with those eagles.
They're my family.
You're my family. Well, what'd you think of the pacing? Because I kind of like...
That's my question usually.
Okay. So, Dan, do you want to ask it then? Or
No. I'm just going to say, I thought the pacing was fine in this movie. I didn't have any issues with it.
Had to chime in saying that.
No, because like Danny always makes fun of me for that. Because that's like
his only thing.
That's my only thing. Like,
oh, so you're a poser is what you're telling me. I got
it. But no, I thought the pacing was fine in this movie. I didn't have any part where I was like really slow, really fast.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Really, I thought the middle was maybe I'm just over criticizing the movie, but I thought the middle was kind of like
feels that way.
No,
I know.
I'm giving it credit where it's due. I'm just saying in the middle where it was like, hey, we're on our way to the kingdom. It felt a little draggy for me, a little slow at parts.
I'm on my way.
Kinda. It was kind of. It kind of felt like it should have just been like a little, like a little cut show, a little of clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like.
Danny, you were really shrinking there.
I thought Rocco was going to come back in the end. Maybe he's not dead yet, but like he probably is.
Well, I mean, they've had like 300 years to kind of learn how to evolve, learn how to swim. So like that kind of it makes sense. Like it's just something that's unwritten at that point.
Well, they're like climb. Oh wait, are we going to get like an Avatar thing where they have because it's 300 years? That's enough for like a little bit of evolution.
It is, yeah.
Maybe are they going to find like another tribe that is like has like fucking tails or some shit?
I don't know. Are they
mermaids?
Like wait, is they gonna turn into Avatar?
Yeah, they're gonna turn into Avatar.
God,
and there's flying ones and they're red.
No.
I would be interested because they talked a big thing about the Eagle clan, and then like I'd be interested to see what other clans there were.
Ooh,
sort of
like is there like other tribes with other things?
Yeah, like
they do?
Or like maybe one's more militaristic, one's more like peacekeepy, like.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what other tribe characteristics there could be. But that's kind of the vibe I got was like, hey, our thing is eagles, cool. Their thing was,
riding on dolphins.
What?
I don't know.
Well, that's what they do in the Avatar.
Hey, you're not helping yourself.
And then they have hair sex.
Comparing this movie to the new Avatar movies, you're not helping yourself.
They still made $1 billion.
So, but like,
doesn't mean it was good.
The thing, these movies are better than Avatar.
Way
agree on that,
oh
right?
yeah, 100%.
So that's what I'm saying. Why are those movies the highest grossing ever? Like, what the actual fuck?
James Cameron buys his own tickets.
He has to. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
The first one was just Pocahontas.
Honestly.
The second one's Free Willy.
I didn't even see the second one.
It's stupid. It's just as stupid.
Is it?
Yeah, and it made $2 billion. Good. The CGI is so good. Why is nobody going love for these movies? Because watching
the
War.
CGI still looks just as good in this movie as it did in the first three.
Yeah, I can't fucking believe.
I rewatched all three of them. The CGI holds up in all three, and they're probably over 10 years old now. When did the
2017 was War.
Okay, what was Rise?
Rise was 2011.
So over 10 years, and the CGI still holds up.
The 2011 one was a little rough, but 2014
compared to
revolutionized
other
it.
things.
Oh yeah, at the time, no way. Well, they were the second ones to really use the motion capture stuff because Avatar created motion capture. They are face motion capture,
right?
Which is really important for Rise. So they were the second people to really try it out on a large scale like that. But Dawn, I think, is the most clean looking. I really can't tell.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
The opening shot with Caesar's eyes and it zooms out. That's
I've
fucking
seen
amazing.
That shot. I've seen the shot.
Yeah,
it's so good.
So, but this one, I still didn't notice the CGI. But it's why aren't we getting more love for that? The technical aspects in these movies are so fucking amazing.
I agree.
If only Star Wars could do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we all know Star Wars is one of those companies that just works their people to the ground.
This is also Disney, though.
So,
is it? Planet of the Apes is 20th Century Studios. That's Disney.
Oh, right. Amongst all 20 other companies.
Yeah, they own, the monopolized.
Although I've heard about this movie for a couple years now, so I think they gave him a little extra time to really polish
I think
the
they
effects.
actually gave him time.
Writer strike helped with that.
Yeah, because maybe that's a thing. The reason that a good thing about this franchise being kind of underrated, so nobody really we can wait.
Yeah,
we can wait for it to be perfect.
Yeah, I think that helped it. That it actually gave it time to breathe.
Yeah,
to actually put in the effort for the CGI, whereas I could easily see it going down a route of, no, we need this out now, and it looks terrible.
Yeah, well, since this one is I think is the highest grossing so far in all of them, so
really? I don't know that. So. The numbers haven't come out yet.
Okay.
I think
as of tape.
Well, there was a shit ton of people in the theater I went to, so.
There was let's not even talk about the theater. John and I were. John, actually, bring that up, John. Go ahead.
I don't even want to bring it up. Probably the worst movie experience of my life.
Oh, really?
We had a group of 10-year-olds. I shit you not. One of them was playing a game on his phone. Another group was using their flashlight on their phone the whole time.
I hate assholes like that.
Dude, it's just. I remember why I stopped going to the movie theater so often. And then of course, we had a seat. We had the seats in front of us empty. Sure enough, this group walks right in front of our seats.
Well,
there. I was like, come on.
They were at least nice.
Yeah, they were nice, but again.
There's an etiquette that you got to follow.
There is an etiquette, but I've had this conversation a million times about the reserved seating and all that stuff. Yeah. I hate it, and this is exactly why.
Because you can't go anywhere else.
You can't go anywhere else. You can't move one row down. God forbid we all have somewhere to put our feet up.
There's 2 people in the theater. He was sitting right next to me.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was definitely a very weird group of people, to say the least. It did take away from. Maybe that's why I don't like the movie. I was so annoyed with the surroundings.
Oh wow! It looks like Kingdom on at least Friday night made $22.2 million just Friday night in the U.S. That's a lot of money. That's wild.
And you know why? Because it's doing all the work based off the original 3. It's reaping all the reward the 3 put in.
Yeah.
It's called. It's cash grab now.
It is. I would say it is.
This has been already said tons of times by a bunch of other people, but the original trilogy titles are so fucking incorrect.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it should go Dawn, War, Rise.
I think War should be the last one because it was full out war.
No, it wasn't. It was just them in a concentration camp, and then they have a little tiny battle with a helicopter, and then the avalanche happens.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the fucking shit to go down.
I don't know, man. I thought it was still. I thought that movie was great.
I get on a metaphorical war. It's a war between Caesar and himself, and it's a war, but on a large scale, the metaphor of it's
a large scale character.
It's a last battle. I get it,
movie. Yeah.
But no, I think Dawn because it's the dawn of evolution.
Yeah, I do agree. Dawn should have been the first one.
Then there's War because it ends with an actual battle, a huge blow up battle and nukes and shit.
Right.
And then Rise at the end of it, it's all about the apes rising up above the humans finally and taking their place.
I could see that.
Kingdom, it would make more sense if there's an actual kingdom.
That's the other thing that gets me. They try to portray this whole village as a huge. It was probably a handful of apes. It was a small little beachfront that lived on a boat. They're like, this is a kingdom. No, it's not. Koba had more people. Koba. He had more people than this guy does. I feel like as much as I love the actor and the character itself, I feel like they could have really beefed him up.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They could have. He could have had like several boats. He could have had several. He had one.
Fucking yachts.
He had one boat.
All right, yeah.
How is that a kingdom? How is that a kingdom? You have one boat.
Also, another thing I would love to see it as maybe like I wish they wouldn't. I don't know how to phrase this. I wish they wouldn't go into like the traditional story of like having the good main character and he meets the villain and he has to kill him and take him down later.
Right.
I wish we just kind of had a new movie where like we are following the villain. Like we follow Proximus.
Like that horror movie that's going to come out soon, the In a Violent Nature, where it's from the...
I haven't heard about that.
You haven't heard of... okay, so In a Violent Nature is a slasher told from the perspective of the slasher itself.
That sounds interesting.
So
like
we're gonna.
that.
It comes out at the end of this month, May 2024, and it's gonna be crazy, man. Like apparently in some of the test screenings, somebody like literally threw up because it was so disgusting. I'm like, hell yeah, that's what I want. That's the shit I want.
Was it a middle-aged woman?
Oh no, I don't think so. But like, he looks like a cross between Michael Myers and Jason. That's kind of
that would be a nice, interesting new take.
Yeah, I just want to. Well, it's like that's what I love. Like, anyway, spoiler alerts for Attack on Titan, but the main character you've been following for 4 seasons turns out to be the main villain.
Really?
Later on.
Really?
Yeah. So
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
It's phenomenal. It's like one of the best shows I've ever seen. I can't shut up about it.
Okay.
yeah.
If you don't like, I know it's anime. It's a cartoon.
Oh, no, I'm not against anime. I just haven't.
Oh, okay. You should.
Okay.
I'm against anime.
Wow.
But, the thing is-
I'm kidding. I'm
2024,
kidding.
man.
The thing is, it's not an anime per se. It's not like a My Hero or a Dragon Ball Z where it's
Right,
like
right.
it's not the Eastern storytelling. It's Western storytelling,
Right.
Just with animation,
Okay.
with Japan
Right.
style.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that whole thing with that's a big reason why I love that series so much because the villain you're following the hero and he turns into the villain. It's like Breaking Bad, Walter White
True,
kind of thing.
true.
So yeah, I'd love to see like Proximus being like, okay, I have aspirations to be a king, and like I think I have good ideas and stuff. And Caesar's saying all this stuff like ape together strong.
Yeah.
If I have I just need to get a lot of apes together.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see like more complexity with that.
I think that was the good thing about the trilogy is that you felt for Caesar because he's like, hey, I just want, I want to be equal. Like they show a whole scene in the first one where like when they go to the park, the Redwoods or whatever, he has a leash and then he sees a dog with a leash. He's like, am I your pet?
Yeah.
So like that kind of evolution of like, hey, I understand where he's coming from, but I'm also a human. I understand they don't want to die off. So like you understand the conflict. This one, it's like, okay, you have this guy who's a cookie cutter. Hey, my family died. Like, there's no complexity, I feel like. I feel like Noah's character was very cut and dry, family revenge.
Main character syndrome.
Main character syndrome.
He's not even really mad.
No, he isn't. Because half of his family lived.
They just got taken away and
They
then
just
just
got
like
moved somewhere else to a nice summer resort. If anything, you should be thankful.
yeah, like they're not like up in the the electrical towers. Maybe
Yeah,
getting
they're not in the war camps like they were in the third movie. They're at a beachfront where they can basically just live there. But like, because like you said,
it's like all tropical.
yeah, but like you said, like they're able to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They literally were able to destroy the fence. There was no guards.
Yeah, there's nothing.
There was nothing. Like again, I just feel like
an oversight.
a bit of an oversight. Again,
rushed.
rushed.
That aspect.
Yeah, it's just hard to.
There was no complexity. There was no like, oh, I can see both sides of the story. It was like, it was very much like, this is good guy, this is bad guy. You need to support Noah because he's good guy. You can't support Proximus because he's bad guy.
That's why we have a bunch of 6-year-olds.
Bad guy, bad eight. I feel like that just takes away from how good the original trilogy was. Because you could be like, because again, like the whole, like talk about the third one, Woody Harrelson is like, yeah, I kill like my soldiers. They're all infected. I'm trying to prevent the human race from getting worse. So you're like, oh, he's executing people.
Oh, there's one. Did you see the deleted scene where he tells Caesar that he killed Malcolm?
Yes.
Fucking amazing scene. Why didn't they include that?
Yeah.
It was a deleted. Like, fuck.
I mean, yeah. Apparently, he was supposed to be. Well, so I was telling Dan this. You want to talk about like lore? This movie, Kingdom, was originally supposed to be Dawn, Matt Reeves, when he originally wrote the movie, was going to have it be several hundred years into the future. But then I guess like during rewrites, he was like, no, let's dial it back and really focus on like what started it.
Yeah, that was the correct choice.
Well, I agree it was the correct choice, but fun fact, but there's a lot of lore. Like, so apparently Malcolm was one of the ones that got killed at that like winter fort.
Oh, okay.
Like because you show the scene where like the one soldier, like when they first discovered that they're de-evolving and they're like being executed, one of the bodies was supposed to be Malcolm.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool. But again, like so again, we're just talking about all this complexity, all this like hidden lore and stuff. The original 3, I didn't get any of that with this.
Yeah,
one.
well, the whole movie, like War, is just all about like Caesar just trying not to succumb to revenge.
His Koba like tendencies.
Yeah,
Well, that was the whole point. Like,
Yeah.
You'd have flashback, and Koba was like, "Hey, you're just the same as me."
Yeah.
None of that was again. Maybe it's because it was the third one of the trilogy, but I feel like even in the first movie, there was complexity. There was, you know,
well, yeah, 'cause he's like, am I a pet or am I a human,
Right.
or am I ape?
or am I?
Am I a revolutionary or am I just kind of just trying to chill with my dude? Like,
Exactly. But the fact that none of that was in this movie, I feel like shows. Now, again, could that be from the actor standpoint or from the writing? I just feel like there was something missing that would put it at the same level as the other 3.
For sure. All right. Any last thoughts on Kingdom? John, last thoughts? Danny?
Okay, so I've been shitting on it a lot in this, but I think I did like it a lot.
It's
like,
good. It just has an issue of being compared to such a high quality caliber of movie. I think that's its biggest hindrance is that it's good, but you're naturally going to compare it to stuff that was great. And I think that's what's going to make it go down if you watch it.
It's like the Hobbit situation where like the Lord of the Rings is just so great. The Hobbits are fine,
Right.
you know. So they're just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of Andy Serkis, they got that new Hobbit movie or Lord of the Rings movie coming out in 2026 that Andy Serkis is going to direct.
I don't really care. Yeah.
How many books are there?
Well, there's
'Cause I know The Hobbit was one book that they just made to 3 movies,
3 like Lord of the Rings books.
which are the 3 movies.
Yeah, then there's Unfinished Tales and then the Silmarillion.
Okay, so there is more source material.
Yeah, but the Unfinished Tales is more like Fire and Blood, like that book where it's like different eras. It's like just different short stories all
Okay.
collected.
Okay.
Silmarillion is like the world building book. Like it's
Okay.
like all this shit. So that's what there's a lot of material there. So they can definitely, that's why the Rings of Power is doing that. Like they're basing that off of like little portion of the book.
Which
Okay.
Danny is unnecessarily excited for.
I don't like the Lord of the Rings. It's not my thing.
So, what would you rate Kingdom? Because we're kind of going all over the place.
Yeah.
Overall, Kingdom, what would you give it as a rating?
So okay, I always do this. So last week I gave the Fall Guy an 80.
Okay. Well, we're not talking about the fall.
Well, I want to like preface it because I think Kingdom's like a 78, but
Okay.
I like this move. I like Kingdom better than the Fall Guy, so I'm gonna give the Fall Guy retroactively give that like a 72.
Oh, geez, that dropped.
Yeah.
Because I give it a 77.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
I'm gonna give this one a 78 though, because it's still good,
Right.
You know, it just it's got potential with May and like their whole dictator. Like she could turn into a dictator, and she could be like, because she wants to just get human civilization back with like her.
Right.
That's what the whole satellite thing was, and she gets the uplink, which I thought at first it was going to be like a dictionary, like a physical dictionary. Like she was going to be because she's like it's like a book, but it can like.
I thought it was gonna be like an iPad. I thought that would have been really funny. You're just an iPad, like, hey, watch like YouTube Kids.
They're like drawing. With
I thought that would have been hilarious. There's an
John.
iPad.
well, they're literally reading a children's book.
True.
And then they find like the apes are like behind bars and like in the
Which
zoos.
again, I thought would have been more interesting if you brought. Well, granted, you know, the silo did go underwater, but like if you brought the book out, it was like, hey,
Yeah, it's like,
this is-
look, everybody.
this is how humans used to treat us. Like,
Yeah.
or like go to her and be like, this is what you want. Is this what you want with us apes? Didn't do anything with it. Which is again, it's just more stuff. They're just more good shit. They're just leaving on the table.
Yeah, they have roots. So maybe they're setting that up for the second one because Anaya and Suna, they're still alive.
Yep.
And May's still alive. So but they know they read the book or they saw the book. They can't read.
Yeah, but I mean, the pictures are there, so symbolism.
The symbols mean things.
Yeah, true.
All right, John, what do you give it?
I don't know, because I'm trying to be impartial and rate it based on just how the movie is without the original trilogy. But I feel like you can't not but compare it to the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's so part of it.
I feel like I'd give it like maybe I'm going to say a 73, 74.
Okay.
Like, okay, but not as good as it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think for me, this movie has potential to be good, but I just don't think it. I think it was rushed a little bit. I think it's gonna get probably I think a 77 is probably a good rating for this. It's about on the same level as Fall Guy for me.
Fair enough.
It's all right. I mean, nothing great. But the May story, I would love to see where that goes, and I hope that goes somewhere else. But yeah, we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle at Seen It Beforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterbox and serialized at DJ Was, or my YouTube, which is just Danny Was. And John's just John.
I'm just here.
Just John.
Keep watching Seen It Before.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the plug, man.
Yeah, John, you'll probably be back on for our roundup episode at the end of June, early
I
July.
forgot about that one, yeah.
I am.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I
we
thought you
want to
wanted
talk
to be
about
on it.
Roadhouse, right?
Oh,
You wanna
hell
talk-
yeah.
So we're going to do like one movie
Still
from each
haven't
month
seen it.
this
You
year.
still haven't seen Roadhouse?
I still haven't watched it yet either.
Roadhouse probably better than this movie.
Fucking
Take
wrong.
it easy,
Focus,
Jake.
everyone. Focus, everyone. Conor McGregor's character better than Noah.
I saw a clip.
Saying it better than now.
I saw a clip of him. He looks fucking awful,
This is
dude.
Connor the whole movie.
But yeah, guys. So next week is our next big episode, our best franchise ever, and that's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a
I'm excited
lot.
for it.
Yeah, we got what 32
32 franchises.
ranging from the MCU to Jaws to the Batman and Supermans from the 90s, 70s, and 90s. Like we got everything in there. But except for some others.
A cool thing, though, is that the fans are going to be able to pick the first or have an additional vote for the first round. So we're going to send out polls starting tomorrow as of filming this, where you can pick. We have the setup matches for each pairing for the first 32 or 16 rounds, right? Is that what yeah, 16 rounds, and then after that, because people would probably pick something different. There's a potential for that to be different from like what the fans pick.
Yeah.
They can't go past round one, so that's the thing.
Yeah, but you guys have
what
a
I mean?
vote now. We're happy to try to be able to get that to work. Yeah. So until then, we'll see you next time.